So, first of all, let us talk about Rihanna. It is being reported that a woman was arrested after allegedly firing several pew-pews at Rihanna and Asap Rocky's Beverly Hills home, and at least one, penetrated the side of the house, and no injuries were reported. The LA Times reports that a radio dispatch from the incident cited at least 10 fired from a vehicle across the street from the home's gate. It is also being reported that at that time Rihanna was at home, but it is unclear whether her children and her husband were also at the house. This is sad, honestly. I don't know what type of world we are living in, but everything just seems to be ridiculous. A house that potentially could be housing children being targeted is absolutely disgusting. Personally, I just send out prayers to Rihanna because people truly have no idea how that will impact everything about your life and how paranoid and disturbed you can be for the rest of your life because of an incident like this. However, internet chatter has already begun, with a lot of theories coming through and speculation about who could have sent this woman, why this woman could have targeted Rihanna. And some people are already blaming, you know who, the title swindler and of course the label. Some people are coming through saying that, well, this is their work, because according to them, Rihanna has been gearing to release an album, and this happens, this is because of them. And some people are basically saying that she's getting punished for her friendship with Messi Lee. And we all know that Messi Lee lately has been moving weird when it comes to somebody's wife. And so people are now trying to say that this is them sending her a message that you could never ever be bigger than the program. Now, when it comes to the situation, I do feel like it's an intense situation that would require care before you throw out allegations and things like that. Now, another logic that people have is that their motive could be that they are trying to distract people from the current chatter surrounding their CEO. You do know that lately the media has been sort of exposing him and the phone calls behind the scenes and everything. And so people feel like this was an attempt to distract people and to basically redirect their focus to somebody else. And who better to use as a distraction than somebody from their own record label? Now, I refuse to believe that anyone with any sense would volunteer her life, her house, to be the target of something this serious just to be a distraction for their master, for their boss. I don't think that Rihanna would ever do that willingly. If this were to be true, if this theory were to fly, maybe they would have done it without her knowledge. Maybe deep down they knew that they weren't really going to hit, but they were just going to stage it without her knowledge because I don't think anyone would want to play with anything this serious. But that being said, let me know in the comment section what you think might be going on with this. And it is also important to note that Rihanna does not stay by herself. So maybe it wasn't really her being the target. Maybe it was the husband. You get what I'm saying? So it's a whole complicated situation. Let's see if the person in question is actually going to come out here and give out the required information, or if they're just going to be concealing who sent them and the motives behind that. Now, that being said, I also saw some of my own people inserting Nicki Minaj in this conversation. Guys, guys, when are you going to learn? If this indeed was meant to be a distraction, like you guys are saying, or if this indeed was meant to get some sympathy, as you guys are saying, what you're doing is aiding to that exactly. Because why are you inserting Nikki in this conversation? Did you not learn from the Don Lemon situation? Instead of people to focus on the facts on the ground, the focus will shift and it will become Nicki Minaj. Don't you guys get tired of inserting her in situations that do not concern her? I mean, we have consistently, obviously, spoke about, her swatting and her not getting help, and everything that happened with the dressing room and stuff like that. We've been advocating for this, but at this point, I just feel like it's unwise to bring her into this conversation because all of a sudden, I promise you, that woman who did the pew pew incident, they will basically absolve her of any wrongdoing, and all of a sudden, it will become a Nicki Minaj problem that Rihanna got into this plight. I know that for some of you, you guys don't mind, but for her sake. Okay, some things don't have anything to do with her. Are you not tired of her being blamed for everything that's wrong with the world? So with this one, I'm sorry. I just feel like this is not the time to be bringing up Nicki Minaj. This is not the time to be dragging her in a situation this serious. And surprisingly, or not surprisingly, actually, I saw a fan page of Rihanna's already trying to tie this to the Babs. Like that's when I was like, now this is becoming ridiculous. I saw a fan page of Rihanna's that was saying that it has to be the Babs, and I was like, what? Like, you know what? Sometimes I just feel like people are too much swallowed by this, fan thing that they feel like people will go to those extremes to Rihanna, and I'm like, for what exactly? But anyway, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about, let us talk about Bia and Megan the Stallion. Now, the last time I spoke about those two, I was basically talking about how Bongo 2 was out there mocking and clowning Bia and singing along to her bestie song, this track obviously, against Bia, and how people felt like it was rather awkward that the part she decided to highlight is the part where, the pew pew is being talked about, since she herself said that she gets triggered whenever pew pews are mentioned. So for her to be dancing to that, obviously, was self contradicting. Now, if you know anything about Bia, there ain't no mountain higher, okay? Literally, she will come for you. She really will come for you regardless of who you are. And that's exactly what she did. And personally, I respect people who are like that, people who do not pick and choose who to keep the same energy for. I love basketballs like that. So she decided to go on her own Instagram and she posted a picture of Gail King and captioned it, "When I know someone is lying, but I let them keep going anyway." And for those of you who may not know, this is obviously in reference to the infamous lies that, Bongo 2 said and swore on her mother that she never had any romantic relationship with Tory Lanez. So the fact that Bia is like, "I'm just gonna go there with you," and it's the truth, that's funny to me. And then she went ahead and she also posted Bigfoot with a face. And I'm just like, Bia does not care. And do I blame her for this? Absolutely not. Because you decided to pick on her. You felt like it's time that you were going to dogpile on her together with your friend. You tried that mean ish with JT when you were hanging with Cousin Sloth. And I don't want to hear any sympathy talk right now because she decided to come for Bia. Okay, she decided to come for Bia. I don't know if she's gearing up for a release. I don't know the motivation behind that because you cannot tell me that she's responding to Bia shading her years ago. That's not a thing. That's not true. Like that cannot be true. Oftentimes when Megan moves this way, she has something she's gearing up to release, and I guess she decided to pick a beef with Bia this time. And she didn't end there. Bia did not end there. She also went further, on her Instagram story again, and she posted a picture of herself. Oh my god, this is so messy. She posted a picture of herself standing near the shoe section and she said, "Sorry, Megan, they do not have your size here." Basically, making reference to the fact that she is, nicknamed Bigfoot as per Nicki Minaj. And I'm just like, this amount of petty is hilarious. You're gonna see her fans, obviously Bongo 2 fans, coming through with the sympathy saying that of all the body parts that you could have mocked, you decided to mock Megan's feet. Because she got pew pew. This is how they turn narratives. This is not about her getting pew pew. This is about her shoe size. And please don't come with that sympathy angle. Besides, we've all learned that recently she's no longer traumatized by the incident. So please save us, miss us with the BS, okay? Let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about this Bia and Megan situation. Now, let's move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Let's talk about Ming Lee and, of course, at Volvo BBL. Now, you guys know that Ming recently went to Cardi B's show. And not only that, she also went out to a club that she was hosting, allegedly. And so, after Cardi B came out here and basically said that Ming needed some guidance, and when she tried to act like she's above of the situation, she saw that, and oh, she feels bad for Ming. She's just a child. She needs guidance. And, she was trying to paint this mature picture of herself, and I clocked it and I said, "Oh my god, anybody who falls for this nonsense clearly lacks critical thinking skills, because if you really truly were above this, you wouldn't have even addressed it." Okay, so she made it seem like Ming just appeared from nowhere and they never had any interaction, and she's just finding out on the internet. That's how she made it seem in that in that space. However, Ming, after getting humiliated, because obviously going to your sister's op and trying to act like it's geggy and trying to defend her as somebody who spoke about your nephew in such a manner, and basically blaming your sister for somebody speaking about your nephew and ignoring the facts are Hennessy has been clowning Papa Bear for a long period of time. Been clowning Papa Bear for a long time before Cardi and Nicki Minaj even had a back and forth. And to top it off, she even went further to shade Nicki Minaj again. And then when they were going back and forth, she made it clear that indeed they were calling Papa Bear slow. So for Ming to ignore all those facts and start to say that it's Nicki anyway who started to say that is ridiculous to me. And for Cardi to basically come and say that she needs guidance for even attending her show, obviously that was embarrassing. But guess what? Ming said, "You will not embarrass me in public. I will show the world that you were pouring drinks in my cup." Okay? And that's exactly what she did. She posted a video of herself and in a section which seemed to be a VIP section. And guess who was pouring drinks in that section? Guess who pulled her some? Yeah, it is none other than Advocate BBL. So this is the part where I feel like, oh, this mess that she continues to do, is it really worth it? Because now another conversation was already starting. People were like, okay, in your video, in your space, I mean, you clearly made it clear that you know Ming's age. So why were you pouring her a drink if you think she's 19 or 20? Again, Nikki didn't have to lift a finger, but both of you, with your messiness, you got yourselves here. I don't know what Ming thought she was doing or she was trying to achieve by posting that. But there you have it, you guys. On camera, pouring drinks. So it's a mess, you guys. Let me know in the comment section what you think about that. And also, I find it funny that she wants to give Ming. She sees that Ming needs some guidance. And when I look at her history, before all this fame, I wonder what sort of guidance she would be able to give Ming. Because it's not like she herself, her life, it's not like her life has mirrored that one of someone who has had a lot of guidance, in my own opinion. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Let us talk about Jatavia and Lil Uzi. So you guys were out there calling JT all sorts of unwanted woman. Uzi hates her, Uzi tolerates her at most, and all of these things. And JT was like, not on my watch. You guys are not going to make me feel like I'm not loved because I'm very much loved by Lil Uzi and my dogs at home. So JT posted and said, I love you so much, boy. Lil Uzi, thank you for making our house a home. So happy to be back at my safest place. And of course, the house was decorated with flowers. I mean, it is also International Women's Day, and she had been traveling for work. She's been in Europe, having participating in campaigns and all of these things. And so, after all, it seems like Uzi actually does like her. Okay, at least because you guys make it seem like he hates her, he doesn't want to see her at all. And so, personally, I'm happy to see her being loved. I do feel like everybody deserves love, and sometimes internet folk can be very performative. And if you're not careful, you will leave your man for internet people that are even accepting less than what you have in real life. And the reason why I don't take this seriously is the same women that were screaming goals when Stephon Diggs was running around impregnating women and being together with that Volvo BBL are the same people that are now trying to crucify Jitavia. Like, make it make sense. They were literally subwhelling whatever that was going on with Stephon and Cardi. But when it comes to JT, the fact that Uzi is out there having little fights with her and they're chasing each other, oh, it's too much for JT to be with Uzi because he doesn't like her. But I'm yet to see Uzi procreating out of their union with JT since they got together. I haven't seen that. But you guys will police that relationship. And the actual relationship that deserve the policing, you don't have that energy. So for me, honestly, sometimes you just have to take everything on the internet with a grain of salt. But anyway, let me